Earth Science video time. Norris teaches science here. Another Earth Science edition video. We're still talking about astronomy, and I am Mr. Norris. And today we're going to talk about Earth's motion. And by the end of the video, you should be able to say, "I can describe the motions of Earth through space." So when we talk about Earth's motions in space, we're going to talk about these five: rotation, revolution, precession, nutation, and barycenter. So rotation. When we talk about rotation, we're talking about turning or spinning of a body on its axis. On Earth, because our rotation causes our night and day. And we do measure rotation two ways. We measure it with the mean solar day or the sidereal day. And it's sidereal, not sidereal. Check dictionary.com. I had to make sure I made it say it to me. So the mean solar day is from 1 noon to the next noon. So that's 24 hours. So that's where we get those 24 hours in a day. The sidereal day is the rotation in respects to a distant star. So if we look at a different star and we look at the rotation of Earth, it'd be 23 hours, 46 minutes, and 4 seconds. Really, we're just going to really do this. We're just going to do mean solar day. It's so much easier than trying to calculate everything. But that's where there is a difference when you look at where you're at. Revolution is to go around the sun or a star or the orbit. Remember, our shape of our revolution is elliptical from Kepler's first law. On Earth, it takes about 1 year, and 1 year on Earth is 365.25 days. That's why every 4 years we have that leap year with one extra day. Because for 3 years we do 365 days. In the fourth year we'll do 366 days. Because the 0.25 days add up over 4 years to create 1 day. So every leap year we resort back so that we are back on track with our 1 year. Now, Earth's distance does vary when it rotates. You have perihelion and aphelion. Perihelion is when we're closest to the sun, and it occurs on January 3rd. I live in the northern hemisphere, and in January 3rd, we're talking winter, so it's cold, but we're closest to the sun. Because how close you are to the sun in our orbit does not determine what month you're in. That's something completely different, and it's called the tilt of the axis. We're going to get in talking about seasons later on in the video series on astronomy. Aphelion is when we're furthest from the sun. This occurs on July 4th in the northern hemisphere. That is where I live. That will be in the middle of summer. It's actually, I live in the United States. It's 4th of July. That's what we know as July 4th, our Independence Day. Side note, don't tell me I know Independence Day is that's when we celebrate it. It's not when everyone signed the Constitution. I know all the stuff. But that's revolution. Precession is the slight movement of the direction of which the Earth's axis tilts. Now, our Earth's axis is tilted 23.5 degrees. And the tilt doesn't change during precession. What happens is as we are rotating and going around, sometimes our axis just points in a different direction during times. It's a complete cycle takes 26,000 years, and we point between two stars. Polaris, which is what we're pointing to right now, and that's the North Star. And the opposite star is called Vega. And at some point, we will point at Vega, and then we'll point back to the North Star. Nutation is the oscillatory movement of the axis, aka a wobble. Sometimes it's not 23.5 degrees, it's more like 23 degrees. It's just a little wobble as it precesses and as it rotates around the star. And you can kind of see this in the picture here. We have rotation, precession, and then just a little wobble. Barycenter is the center of a mass where two or more celestial bodies orbit each other. So it's like a balancing point. So the Earth and the Moon orbit each other, and there's a barycenter or a center where those two masses would orbit around. And so you can see the Earth and the Moon in this picture, and the barycenter is technically still in the Earth, but it's where this balance point is. It's like trying to balance a ruler on your finger and then make it turn. I did that a lot in school. I don't see my students do it ever. But that's some motions of the Earth. Um, if you want to know more about these, of course, go over to Google. Hope you learned something today. And this is Mr. Norris, and he's signing out for this video.